knows that if you're an anthem provider, wellness and maintenance visits should be using S8990? Who here knows that there's an Anthem waiver form for using that code and for non-covered services? If you don't know that, meet me at the table outside of here. I'm Dr. Ellen Fitzenreiter. I'm a 1991 graduate of Palmer College of Chiropractic. I currently live in Norfolk, Virginia. And don't let the yoga pants I usually wear out there fool you, but I've built and sold 2 successful practices in 2 states over 28 years. I am currently dedicating myself to a crisis that is facing our profession today. Many of you know from my post on our association listserv last fall that attempting to assist doctors going through Anthem audits, which I myself was subjected to. I want to talk to you about the very unsexy but very necessary topic of compliant documentation. Show of hands, please. How many chiropractors in this room participate with insurance plans or Medicare? Okay. Keep your hand raised if you are absolutely, completely certain that your documentation is compliant based upon carrier guidelines. Thank you. Have you even read recently your carrier's guidelines? I'm asking you these questions because unless you have actively worked to create documentation that meets those carrier guidelines, then I can guarantee you that your documentation is not compliant. Compliant documentation doesn't happen by accident. It doesn't happen by winging it or putting into your EHR what you think your carrier wants to see. Statistics from 2009 that were gathered by Medicare found that 83% of chiropractors did not document submitted services sufficiently to support medical necessity, and therefore they determined that hundreds of millions of dollars of claims are overpaid. Fast forward to 2016, we improved 1%. 82% of chiropractors had non-compliant documentation, and therefore, according to Medicare, were overpaid. Medicare is determined to do something about this. Do not be deluded by thinking that insurance carriers are not aware of these statistics, because they are. And the time has come for our profession to change this. As sole proprietors, as most of us are, chiropractors are the everything in our office. I know that we're all busy. Every day we need to make choices about what we will spend our time focusing on. Raise your hand if you have personally been through an audit or you know a colleague who has been, and if you can vouch for the time-sucking nightmare that it is to go through. An audit will throw your billing, your cash flow, your patient flow, and your focus into absolute turmoil. It will divert your resources and energy and that of all of your staff, and you will lose sleep at night, and you'll be trapped there for 6 months to a year. I speak from personal experience. Delayed payments as well as services that I could not provide because of delays devastated my cash flow for the better part of half a year. 5 days before my daughter was to begin her senior year in high school this past fall, I had to make the very difficult decision that she could not continue at Norfolk Collegiate with her friends because I didn't know how long the situation would continue. It was either her school or the mortgage payment. In fact, between myself and 12 other colleagues who also were under audit last year, despite the fact that they did nothing wrong or inappropriate in patient care, being trapped in audits caused us collectively to lose or have substantially delayed a total of over $1 million. That is just in Virginia and just among a few of my personally known colleagues. One colleague was forced to close the doors of her practice forever. Audits have become a cost containment strategy for insurance carriers, and that is a fact. This is not me jumping on the argument of stay insurance and go cash, which is its own conversation. What I am saying is to be informed and to make your decision from a place of empowerment, not panic. It is imperative that compliant documentation become a #1 priority in your office on Monday morning. Either you confirm that you are documenting compliantly per your insurance carrier guidelines and you sleep well at night, or you find out otherwise, and I can help you with that. As shocking as it might sound, I would love to have a conversation with you about compliant documentation, because I am on a mission to fix this for all of us. I have available at my table a free snapshot checklist. It says time to fix it, doc, on here. There's a short list. This is about 80% of what should be in your daily notes. And if it's not, you need to address it now. Pick one up. I've made enough for you, and you can grab some for colleagues. While you're there, make sure you submit your business card and email address for my drawing for a free custom patient education video about medical necessity. so your patients know about wellness care, active care, and what the difference is. If you know that you need help and you don't know where to start, I'd love to talk to you about my boot camp, which is a breakdown and strategy of how to implement the changes that you will need to make in your journey towards compliant documentation. Receive a link by going to www.itsmedre.com, and I will send you the link to a webinar on Monday in 2 days that I'll be holding. It's about an hour long. It's free. Because I understand as a colleague that this can be confusing, frustrating, and above all, overwhelming. And please understand, I am not a documentation expert. Dr. William, who I hope you were here to sit with yesterday, is that, and he did an awesome job. But I am, however, an implementation expert, and I earn those credentials by having conversations with well over 100 colleagues and industry experts, as well as a very expensive education in the School of Hard Knocks. So thank you for your time, and join me Monday on my webinar. It's free. Thank you.